everyone, it's Cynthia Shepherd here. Are you fighting to fill your calendar with bookings? Are you just struggling and feel like you're begging for people to book a party with you? I'm going to share with you how I book parties at my parties and how I keep my calendar full. So basically, the best way that I keep my calendar full at my shows is I book 95% of my parties at order checkout. Now, I don't know if that's hard for you to believe, but that is really where most of my bookings come from. Now, I do play many games throughout my party, and I do plant many seeds for hosting a show, but basically most of my bookings come at order taking. And I think that's because it's a one-on-one, you're building a rapport with your guest at the order taking, and that's your opportunity to overcome objections. I think when you're sitting in your party or when you're having your party, there are a lot of people that are thinking, I should have a party. If I have a party, I wonder if people are going to show up. I wonder, am I going to be able to get my house clean? Well, what about the kids? Who's going to watch the kids? Or my house isn't big enough. So all those things are going through their head. And then they just think, no, I can't do it. There's just too many things. Nah, forget it. I'm not going to do it. But then when it comes to order checkout, when you just ask them, they're going to tell you their objection. And it's your job to overcome the objections. Now, I'm going to go through how to overcome objections in another video. But for this video, I just want to stick to how we're going to get more bookings at your shows. So your first guest comes up and she's ready to place her order. So now what I do is I get her to fill out her information because I just find it's easier instead of me saying, your name. And then I kind of feel embarrassed when I ask her her name because you know what? I've probably already been introduced to her and I've forgotten her name. Has that happened to you before? It happens to me all the time. So I just get her to fill out all of her information unless sometimes, probably 5% of the time, I kind of get a little sigh from some ladies, or it's kind of like, oh, and then I'll say, hey, did you want me to fill it out? And they'll go, yeah, that's great, But I'll just say, do you mind just filling out your information here? Because it's probably a lot faster if you do it. Explain to them why you're asking them to do it. Guess why I do that? Then I have their name, okay? Now, who doesn't like hearing their name being called, especially by a professional, which is you who have just hosted the party, right? You're the consultant or the advisor of the party. So then I grab her wish list, right? Now you've gotten everybody to fill out their wish list at the party, and likely they have crossed off some things off of their wish list that they can't afford. It's not within their budget. And that's a great opportunity for you to suggest for them to host a party because they've got that $100 item that they get for 15 or highly discounted. That's another way for you to slide into, host a show. You can get that item that you wanted at 85% off, for example. So then what I do is I go through and I fill out their order form, and then I say, okay, Patricia, your total is $86.50. So she'll go, okay. So she either goes to grab her credit card or she goes to grab her cash. Now, as she's doing this, this is when I ask her 3 questions. These are very important. Write these down, okay? So I'll say, so Patricia, did you have fun tonight? And of course she's going to say, yeah, it was great. I had a great time. And you're like, oh, that's great. Then the second question you're going to ask her is, do you think your friends would have fun at a party like this? Now here's where she may give you some objections. And again, I'm going to cover this in another video, but let's just say for this sake, she says, yeah, they might. I'm not really too sure, but I think they probably would. Then what you're going to say is, can you think of any reason why you shouldn't have a party? Now that is an amazing question that I've learned from my head office. What I used to say, my third question was, have you considered having your own show? Now it's up to you what you feel comfortable. You want it to kind of roll off of your tongue. So whatever you feel comfortable. I've always said, have you considered having your own show? When you say the word consider, It doesn't give them the opportunity to give you kind of like a yes or no answer, right? Because they've probably considered having a show, but remember, they're going through all those objections in their brain. But if you say, can you think of any reason why you shouldn't have a party? Then it's kind of like, well, no, I can't. Or if they give you an objection, then, you're going to try to overcome the objections. I'm going to give you one extra tip here that I just thought of. A lot of the times, people will say, well, I was thinking about it, but I'm just not sure, and I'm not sure if I can gather up all my girlfriends on a certain date because they're all busy or they're all doing this and that. Try to book a tentative date with them, because remember, it's not a party unless you have a date. And I've done this quite a few times where I'll say to them, okay, Patricia, so if you were to have a party, would you do it on, now this is according to your calendar, right? Because you make your own calendar. Would you do it on, what would work best for you, a Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon? And she says, well, not Saturdays because, John's always working and, they don't have the kids, so probably Sunday afternoon. Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we book the show on Sunday, December the 2nd at 2 o'clock? And then if you need to change the date, that's fine. But let's just go from there. Because you know what, Patricia, I'm going to let you know that not everyone's going to be able to make it to your party because everybody has different schedules. But the best thing about that is the people that say they can't make it, you can always just suggest to them to book their own party because you're going to benefit from that too, or to place an order. So how does that sound? And then she'll say, yeah, okay, I'll just do that. Then she books the tentative date, okay? So I hope this was helpful, and if it was, you can send me an email if you want more questions at cynthiashepherd589@msn.com, and stay tuned because I have a lot more videos on the way. Bye!